Hello, good morning, good night, and good evening. Worldwide online conferences offer advantages, but also unexpected complications like the different times around the world. Anyway, it is an interesting experience. I would like to thank the organizers for letting me say a few words in the introduction to the conference. I would also like to remind you that we now have about 40 years of experience with CFB boilers. Initially, the success was not given because the alternative, the bubbling bed, had already been in operation for about 10 years, and we repeatedly heard about its advantages. Despite that, and already in the early 1980s, it was clear that the CFB boiler had some important advantages. Like it was easier to scale up. The combustion and the environmental performance was better than the bubbling bed, and the CFB was easier to protect against erosion. And erosion was actually what stopped the BFB boiler for cold combustion. So for these reasons, CFB won the battle, if I may use that word. But the BFB boiler found its place in the smaller scale, suitable for the combustion of waste and biomass. Well, during these 40 years, the CFB has developed and a great number of large-scale, high-efficiency plants have been built. We should ask the question, do we now know enough about the design and operation of CFB boilers? Well, initially, we advanced rapidly by trial and error. In Sweden, that I know well, there was much error initially, but the boilers built then were small and the development was supported by the government. So it was very fast. For instance, already in 1991, our Chalmers CFB boiler was put into operation without any problem. And it has been operated since then for research and for heating of the university uh, during, during about 30 years. And similar experiences were made elsewhere. Despite this clear success, I don't think trial and error is a sufficient method if you want to develop CFB boilers further to increased reliability, efficiency, and with low emission, and also for CO2 capture and to cooperate with wind and solar energy. The latter because the increasing impact of solar and wind energy in many energy systems. And CFB will no longer have the privileged place as a baseload plant, but it will have to run under changing load conditions. And this will require some new thinking in the design of boilers. Now we have time for improving our knowledge, and we have already a good basis of experience. However, I think the knowledge of the large combustion chambers of CFB boilers is insufficient, and an improvement in this respect would create safer ground for future developments. I have looked through the literature and I find an extensive information on the behavior of chemical reactors, which are different from boilers in many respects. For instance, they have narrow risers, they use small and light particles, they have high circulation rates. And also, I notice experiments are often carried out at room temperature without consideration of the how to apply these at a higher temperature. So I hope in the future we will learn as much as possible from the chemical reactors, but I would like to see more basic experience also from boilers and their combustion chambers. In this context, I read from the conference program that Professor Yue from the Tsinghua University will make a comparison of chemical reactors and boilers, and I look very much forwards to listen to that lecture, as well as to the other interesting presentations of the conference. So to conclude, I wish that you and us, because I want to participate myself, a successful conference. And I'm convinced that it will contribute essentially to a continued advance of CFB boilers. Thank you for your attention.